Overcoming and winning in life is no accident. Creating individual success is like having a recipe for a great meal. It only works if you know how to use the ingredients. As a best-selling author, entrepreneur, business coach, strategist, and champion, the Lewis Howard Live Show provides you the insider's view on winning. All we do is win, 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 helping you become the best version of yourself. All we do is win-win, helping you become the best version of yourself. That really is the core of why the time is invested to produce these programs, podcasts, shows, quotes, books, conversation. Just got off the phone having a great conversation with a friend about life and about sharing um, the information that we give. And so I am always excited to hear the feedback for those who hear it. You can do that through several platforms, Lewis Howard Live or whatever. And but it's always good to have that feedback to know we're making a difference. So today, I just want to share some quick thoughts about pain to gain. Life can be painful. Anybody that's lived long enough knows that it can be painful. Children learn it early in life when you have to discipline them or take away their favorite toy or take them off of the bottle. The pain to gain, the pain to change. And any parent that tries to skip over that usually will pay a price for it, because if you don't take the child through the proper process, no matter how painful or upsetting it might be, you will end up with something you don't want on the other side. For example, I remember when my daughter was younger and she loved to sleep in bed with us. That was her thing, to sleep in bed with her mom and her dad. But after a while, it became evident that she needs to sleep in her own bed, right? But that pain of change, man, it was not fun. But we had to endure that pain of her crying, her being upset, her coming back into bed, putting her back in her own bed, and to eventually she accepted the fact that she would need to sleep in her own bed. But that was painful. So imagine us not deciding to do that and say, just let her stay, right? Well, we probably have a teenager sleeping with us, right? Because if you don't get it early, people don't change it later on. And so there is a philosophy that says no pain, no gain. Okay. And it was, in part, comes out of the Marines' core values thinking that you go through the pain of the training to have the gain of being a solid soldier. I got a chance recently to visit a military installation, and I haven't been on a military installation for a very long time. But as I'm walking there and I'm going through the food truck that's owned by some family folks, and I realize I'm looking around at all these young military people in their early 20s, and being a former military person, I know some of the things that they went through, and I start to question. And I'm looking at some of these folks. I'm going, man, how did you endure the pain for the game? Because you are quite the big boy, right? And I know how training is, and the things that you have to go through basic training. And so for me to see that, we know that he was in uniform, so somehow he endured the pain to get to the gain of being a military individual. Well, what about you? What is it in your life that you are having to maybe deal with some pain for gain? Relationships, they're painful, right? But you got to go through the pain to have the gain. Moms, all too well, if you're listening to me and you're a mom and you've brought forth a child, the pain of labor, the pain of your body changing in order to birth this human being that is coming forth. And no pain, no gain, no labor, no babe, right? And some people will get around that and they'll have the epidurals. They'll skip that so they don't want to feel that pain. And then other moms said, no, bring it on. I'm going to natural childbirth. I'm going through the whole thing. Either way, there's pain. And so you can medicate the pain, right? Or you can endure the pain. But the pain is there. If you lose a loved one, there's pain. I'm coming off another loss in our family, and it's painful. But I also see the gain. I also see the other side of what treasures this person left, and what that can mean for the future of her legacy in our family. And so, while it's painful now, I'm willing to endure the pain of it in order to see the gain of it. But you have to think about that, right? Because there are a number of people, especially again in our Western culture, we want the easy button, right? We want things just to be simple, right? We like the fantasy. We like oh, I just fell in love and we lived happily ever after, right? Oh, I just walked up to the right slot machine and put in a quarter and I made $1 million, right? Or I opened up my Instagram account and boom, I had 1 million followers. I'm monetized and they're paying me checks, right? And those all sound like great stories, and they are in their own merit, but it's not really reality for everybody. Some of us have to start at the bottom. Some of us have to go through pain. The pain to overcome, right? If you are a person of a certain education or economic background or race or gender, you might have to endure a little bit more pain than somebody else because you are in a group that is not given the predisposition for an opportunity or success. So more doors may close in your face. Are you willing to endure that? Are you willing to endure the no's to get to the yeses? Right? Are you willing to get to endure the failures in order to get to the success? It is said that most billionaires have failed multiple times in business. Many of them had bankruptcies in business, but they stayed in there to get to the game. So it really is the ingredient of pain is important because the ingredient of pain leads to the gain. No pain. So if you're doing something right now in your life, business, professionally, and there's no pain anywhere, you got to question what you're doing because everything good has a pain, right? If you are referenced to scriptures and the resurrected Christ, he endured the pain and the shame of the cross to have a resurrection. Okay, no cross, no resurrection, no crucifixion, no resurrection. Okay, you can't have one without the other. Okay, and so again, going back to the moms, you got no labor, no baby. Okay, so if you invest in anything, whether it's a business, whether it's a relationship, whether it's an education, ask any college person about the pain of studying, right? The pain of learning in order to get that degree. But I guarantee you, when they walk across the stage and they get the cap and the gown on and they receive that paper that says, hey, you graduated, I guarantee you every night of that pain was worth it. And when you see success stories of people that have succeeded in business, and here is the thing I think that we miss a lot of. A lot of people don't want to talk about the pain. Okay, they'll tell you the good part of the story, but they don't tell you the painful part of the story. But you need to hear the painful part of the story to appreciate the gain part of the story, right? Can't just have the bitter without the sweet, right? Somebody makes a great meal and they hand it to you and go, here, man, that's a great meal. Okay, but I need to know what you went through to make this meal, right? I had to break a few eggs and man, I had to try it a couple times before it came out right. But look at here. I like to share the pain because I know that there's understanding in the pain, there's appreciation in the pain. Look, pain in of itself is not good. I don't promote pain, right? I don't wish pain, but it is part of life. And again, if you are sailing through life and you never experience pain, woe to you when you do, because that means that you don't have an experience sharing pain. It'll collapse you. I've had friends that have taken their own life because they couldn't stand the pain of failure. They were the golden children. Everything worked out for their good. They were always on top. And all of a sudden, here comes a recession. Here comes a job loss. Here comes a divorce. Here comes a sickness. Bam, bam, bam. And they're not ready to deal with that because they've never had to deal with that. Okay. Rich people are the worst people to be around sometimes when it comes to painful things because they're just not used to that. They just freak out, right? Poor people, yeah, we're used to dealing with pain. If you come up poor, you're used to dealing with it because you're used to hearing no and you're used to hearing difficult things. And so it makes it easier, I think, later in life to deal with that. But again, you've got to deal with the pain. It doesn't last forever. That's the good news. Okay. Pain is temporary, but it's not permanent. Okay. And so the mom, again, using that example, the labor is not permanent. It's not like for the next 5 years she walks around with labor pains. No, it is for that moment. So be willing to endure the pain of a loss because sometimes I'm learning that in my losses, I can help other people gain. Because if they see me staying strong during a loss, it helps them, right? I have had enemies that have done, some not so kind things to me. And yet I endured the pain of the rejection. I endured the pain of the betrayal to have the gain of integrity, right? It is one of my core tenets is integrity, integrity, integrity. And that integrity has come out of pain. It didn't come out of a textbook. It came out of a pain. And so you learn how to hold your water, as they say, when things are difficult, right? That's pain. I need to hold my words. Okay. You should not say everything that's on your mind. I know people are, I'm just telling you what's on my mind. Well, some of that stuff you probably need to reserve and keep. Okay. Because some of it is spoken out of pain, right? You've heard people go, I hate you, right? It's the pain talking, right? It's the pain talking. And so you've got to learn how to manage the pain so I can see the pathway to the gain, right? If I just get caught up in the pain itself, right, and that's all I see, I'm going to miss the gain opportunity, right? And if I just want gain, right, I'm not going to grow because I have never endured pain. Okay. I'm who I am today because I've been able to endure some pain. And so it's allowed me to be able to share with you transparently, openly, just some opportunities I think that is beneficial for your gain. So think about that. All right, look up the definition of pain. You'll learn from that. And then look up the definition of gain. And I think you'll look in your life and see some places where you got pain and you got some gain. But one will be connected to the other. The pain of starting a new business, that's painful, right? Because a large percentage of businesses fail within the first 3 years. So it's the pain of getting up every day and showing up and ordering and getting the financing and getting all those things necessary to do that. And again, the sad thing I see, and I'm seeing too much of it, is we're teaching people not to endure pain. We're just teaching people to have an easy button to success. We're teaching people to just do it easy, take the shortcut, lie, cheat, steal, rob, pillage, whatever, Captain Jack Sparrow, whatever you need to do to plunder. Okay. But the real road to success starts with an idea, a thought, concept, and then you start working that process. And within that process, you'll have some pain moments, right, that you have to work through. And then you get to the game. Ask any athlete about this. Okay. Any athlete will tell you that working out is painful, right? But you work out during the week. They do these 2-a-days, 3-a-days, special eating programs, coaching, all the pain, even if it's not more than a financial investment pain, right? You have to make it. Because why? When we see them perform on a Sunday or whenever they're playing baseball, football, basketball, soccer, European football, whatever it is, lacrosse, whatever it is, you see the game because they were willing to endure the pain. Michael Phelps used to say he's willing to endure the pain of getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and swimming for hours in order to get his body ready to do the lap. The late Kobe, famous, saying was, he got up and started playing basketball 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and he would have a whole day of routine. Well, it would reflect. He would have gain on the court. Okay, so my thought today is think about the parts in your life where you want to have gain, right? Whether it's relationship gain, monetary gain, relationship health gain, right? And think about what you need to do to endure pain. What pain am I willing to do in order to get that? Am I willing to get up and work out every day? Am I willing to save the money that I need to save? Am I willing to let go of some folks so I can have more gain in your life? Sometimes you gotta let some folks go if you want to have gain. So the question at the end of the day is, what pain am I willing to do in order to have the gain at the end of the day? So think about those thoughts, and hey, sharing is caring. So hey, if you got it all down and what I said doesn't matter, I promise you there's somebody else in your life that could use this. And so I'm encouraging you to share with them and give us some comments and feedback. We appreciate you, and I love to inspire. I'm Lewis Howard, and I approve this message.
Every great champion knows that success, overcoming, and winning in life is no accident. Creating individual success is like having a recipe for a great meal. It only works if you know how to use the ingredients. As a best-selling author, entrepreneur, business coach, strategist, and champion, the Lewis Howard Live Show provides you the insider's view on winning. All we do is win, 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 helping you become the best version